So what happens now?
We're going to have to hold you a bit longer, I'm afraid. Ask a few more questions. We also need to search your house. I've put in for a warrant.
Search it? What for?
Anything that'll tell us what's been going on.
Right, fine. Go right ahead. I've got nothing to hide. Here's my keys. I'll come with you if you like.
That won't be necessary. We need to check with your bank, too. Get the full picture on your finances.
Oh, yes, of course, because, I've got all these offshore investments and Swiss bank accounts. Working in a travel agency is just a front. Look, I don't understand. If John's done a bunk, then surely that proves what I've been saying. He's guilty.
Maybe, but it doesn't prove you're not.
Do you know what I don't get about you protesters? How anybody can spend their lives being a loser.
Not like you, eh?
No, look at it. Whenever do they win? Look at Manchester Airport, all them months in the freezing cold. Didn't make a scrap of difference in the end.
That's not the point.
Oh, what is?
It's to raise people's awareness.
Oh, that's a posh word. Who've you got that off, Tarantula?
If we go on protesting, well, public opinion will change in time.
Oh, well, it won't raise my awareness.
I said people, not pond life.
Hey, you watch your mouth.
Come on, are you too late, table?
Anyway, we do win sometimes.
Oh, I like when?
Vietnam.
Vietnam. That was a war. Anyway, that's in China.
Well, same thing. Little people taking on big ones and winning.
I said, can somebody lay the table?
And do you think you'll win next week?
Next week.
Or whenever it is.
I don't see why not.
They'll have a crack security firm up there.
Don't make me laugh.
You what? After that fiasco at Alf Roberts, they'll have the best money can buy.
They'll have dross off dole queue, can't find work anywhere else. $1.50 an hour meeting.
Hey, you watch what you're saying.
Les, come on. Help me lay this table.
Do as your mother tells you. And hurry up, I'm starving.
I want to come back to this £5,000 you say Lindsay owed you. What exactly did he borrow it for?
For the deposit on a house we were buying.
So, it wasn't for him.
Well, it was for both of us.
But the house is in your name.
It is now. It was in his, but he signed it over to me as a present.
So who pays the mortgage?
He does. He's paid for everything except the deposit.
Then I don't understand. You're saying you were trying to get the £5,000 back in the credit card, but it's already yours. It's invested in your house.
Yeah, but once I realised he'd been lying again, I just wanted out. I wasn't going to hang around and get my money back while he pulled some other flanker. He could have stopped paying the mortgage or, well, I don't know, anything.
You're happy to let him have the house then?
Oh, he's welcome to it.
He's not made anything out of this then, financially.
Not that I know of.
Odd kind of con man. Sets up a scam but gets nothing from it.
He's an odd kind of bloke, as you'll realise when you find him.
The only person that benefits from all this is you.
I bought stuff for the house. That was for both of us.
Yes, but if you signed the bills on a card in your name, those things were technically yours.
At the time, yes, I suppose they were. But he can have it all now.
Now the fraud's been uncovered.
Now that I've found he was lying about his wife.
And when the credit card bills came in, you never saw Jenkins' name on them?
I never saw any bills. John paid them all. He only gave me the card at the end of November.
Did you not find it odd that he didn't have a card?
I thought he did. He had the first and I had the second. I hadn't even heard of this Ian Jenkins till today.
When did you find out he was married?
New Year's Eve. I've been trying to piece it all together ever since.
You never thought of phoning the police?
Well, I did as it happens, only I wasn't quite sure why I'd be doing it.
To report an intended bigamy. The way he'd been messing you around, most women would want him crucified.
The trouble was, he kept insisting he was divorced. And to be honest, I was just glad to get out. The thought of going to court and all that humiliation just put me off. Look, if I was running a scam, do you honestly think I'd go into the bank and ask them why my card had been swallowed? I'd assume you were on to me and run a mile.
Depends how clever you are.
Me? Clever? I've just been taken for the longest ride in history. I haven't been clever. I've been stupid.
Yeah, beyond belief.
Don't look so glum. You've done the right thing.
What?
Getting rid of that girl. I know you're a sensitive soul, Ashley, but you were wasting your time fretting about her.
Weren't as simple as that, though, were it?
How do you mean?
I didn't get rid of her.
Well, why did you tell your Uncle Fred that you did?
I didn't.
He jumped to conclusions.
Well, how did it happen?
I gave her a rollicking for going off like she did. Come to work, and when I got home, she'd gone, just left a note.
Saying what?
Saying thanks for all we've done, but it's not working out. She'll see me around.
You said just now, when you found out he was married, you realised he'd been lying again.
Yes.
So, he'd lied before?
When I first met him, he told me he was an airline pilot, then I found out he wasn't.
He admitted it.
Somebody I know actually saw him working in a shop.
And then what?
Well, he said that he'd been a pilot, but he'd lost his job on medical grounds.
And had he?
As far as I know, I'm not sure of anything anymore. He said he'd carried on pretending to be a pilot with people he didn't know because he couldn't handle losing status. And then he met me. Before we knew it, we were in deep, and he hadn't got the heart to tell me the truth.
But you didn't break up?
No. I forgave him. More fool me. We put it behind us, and he promised never to lie again.
So when he spent half his time away, you never questioned it? Even though he'd been lying before?
Well, he said he was away on business.
But did you never ring him when he was away? You never asked for his hotel number?
Either he'd phone me, or I'd phone him on his mobile.
How'd you get round Christmas?
Oh, you may well ask. He said he'd to come down from Aberdeen on Christmas morning. He spent the afternoon with me, and then he got called away to Portsmouth on an emergency.
Well, the whole time he was with his wife?
Yes.
Bit of a Whitehall farce, isn't it?
Like I said, I've been stupid.
So if all this pretense wasn't for money, what was it for?
Who knows? To impress me, to make me happy?
That's what you got off on?
Well, there's no other explanation.
Well, you do hear of married men doing this sort of thing, of course.
Well, there you are then.
Although usually the other woman's a bit younger than the wife. A bit more glamorous. No offence, Mrs. Rashid. But when a man breaks the law like this, there has to be a big payoff. I'm having trouble finding it.
Are you saying you don't believe me?
I'm saying it doesn't add up. Not by a long way.
I said I didn't want legal representation.
Mm-hmm.
I've just changed my mind.
Hey, so where do you stand on this concert ball then, Mike?
I don't stand anywhere. I'm not going to make any extra money either way, am I?
You see, he's got no thought for the issues involved.
Well, I bet Alex the same. I mean, you'd like to see it built, wouldn't you, eh? Nearby, all that extra money coming in.
Oh, well, there is that, of course.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I mean, if there's going to be a 6 months protest, people will be coming from all over the country and drinking in here, wouldn't they?
Well, there's that as well, yeah. I'd best reserve judgment, I think.
Hello. Oh, hi, Deirdre. Why, what happened? Well, where are you now? Weatherfield Police Station. Well, listen, I'll phone my solicitor. We'll be there. You just sit tight.
Well, what's going on?
Well, it's Deirdre. She's been taken to the police station for questioning.
About what?
Oh, I don't know. That John Lindsay bloke, he's dropped her in it and done a runner.
Well, what's he done now?
Oh, hi, Frankie Stillman, please.
Ashley not here.
He wanted to leave early, so I said I'd close up.
So we're going to take him for a drink. He looked like he needed one earlier. Did he say where he'd gone?
For a long think, I shouldn't wonder. He's upset about that Zoe.
But he's got rid of her.
You got the wrong end of the stick there, Fred. She left of her own accord.
Well, it's same difference, ain't it? He's got shot.
Well, he's still pining for her, I should think.
Did he say that?
No, but it's a fair guess. It's no good pressing the lad to do something he doesn't want, because it won't work.
Damn the girl.
What's happened now? Is my solicitor here yet?
No, not yet.
Well, have you found John?
OK, Tom. Right, we've searched your house, Mrs. Rashid, and we've been in touch with Mr. Jenkins again. He's been going through his affairs to see if anything else was wrong.
Well, I'd only the one credit card. He won't find anything else on me. What is it?
Your house.
That's his as well, is it?
Not quite, but he has been paying the mortgage.
What?
The monthly repayments have been coming out of his bank account.
But that's impossible. The mortgage is in John's name.
It's in Jenkins' name.
So, If Jenkins has been paying the mortgage, whose house is it?
Bit of a grey area. Still yours, probably, although he stopped the payments. So unless you can go on with them, it'll be repossessed.
I can't fund a mortgage that size. Looks as if I'm going to be homeless as well.
That could be the least of your problems.
Why? What do you mean?
This case has turned out to be more serious than I first thought. Let's just say, the sooner your brief gets here, the better.
I can't believe this is happening.
I come back to what I said before. A substantial fraud's been committed, yet the person you say was responsible got nothing.
Well, he got 1,500 out of my 5,000.
Well, maybe that was a reward.
For what?
Setting it up for you.
For me?
I put it to you, Mrs. Rashid. You got Lindsay to pose as Jenkins, arrange a mortgage and buy a house in Jenkins' name using the cash you gave him as a deposit.
You're not serious.
He then transferred the house to you while Jenkins, tucked up in Singapore for 6 months and with Lindsay looking after his affairs, paid the mortgage without knowing it.
This is crazy.
And then, just for good measure, you milked his credit card account, knowing it was being paid in direct debit, which Lindsay was also looking after. Unfortunately for you, Jenkins came back.
You don't really believe that.
Makes a hell of a lot more sense than your version.
I am telling the truth.
We also found 4,000 in cash at your house.
That was the money I've been withdrawing on the card. I told you. Give it back to Jenkins.
Well, that's very generous of you. We'll hang on to it for the time being. Come in.
I'm Mrs. Rashid's solicitor, Deirdre.
Yes.
Frankie Stillman. Mike sent me. Right, it's outside with some of your
Oh,
friends.
thank God for that. I thought I was going mad.
Don't worry. We'll soon sort this out.
So you're coming round to the concert ball, and you weren't so keen earlier on.
Yes, well, there's nothing like having your nose put out of joint to give you a fresh perspective.
Is this the protesters we're on about?
Harlows, aren't they a menace?
Pint, please, Alec.
Yes, right.
Well, don't you worry. Help is at hand.
How do you mean?
There's an A-team of security men being handpicked as we speak.
How do you know?
You're talking to them.
Oh, really?
Any trouble from that riffraff and they'll feel one of these.
Oh, I see what you mean.
All they're doing is scrounging off the state.
Yeah, I know.
That's mine and your taxes. They've never done a decent day's work in their lives.
Well, this is it, Les.
And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's scroungers.
139, please.
Oh, get that for us, Janice, will you? And one for yourself. I'll just go to the toilet.
Hey, did Les tell you about his new job?
Oh, yeah, but he'll keep it secret, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's supposed to be a surprise. If they get wind of it and dig in, they'll be hell to pay. I mean, it could take weeks to get rid of them, even months.
Hey, what do you think they'll do then, you know, with, like, security arrangements?
Oh, it'd cost a fortune. Because they'd all be on overtime. I mean, weekends, nights. It ran into millions at Manchester Airport that time, apparently. I mean, I know this is on a different scale, but all the same.
Still, we don't need it, do we?
We certainly don't.
So, do you intend to charge Mrs. Rashid with any of this, Sergeant?
Not at the present time. We need to make further inquiries.
In that case, I want a releasing on unconditional bail.
Sure, as long as she doesn't go too far.
You'll need to give them your address.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm not sure if I've still got one.
There's some doubt over the ownership of her house. We'd rather she didn't stay there.
I don't think I could face going back there anyway.
Is there someone you can stay with?
Well, there's Liz, but I know she's moving soon.
I'm afraid that won't do.
Well, I've got a daughter in London.
Too far. It's got to be fairly local. You've got to stay somewhere.
There's been a mistake, surely.
Well, there must have been. I mean, Deirdre's never done a thing wrong in her own life.
Well, she's got a good solicitor. That's the main thing.
Liz,
Are you okay?
I don't know.
It'll be all right now.
Thanks, Mike.
It was nothing.
She's been released pending further inquiries, but she needs an address.
Well, she's got an address.
There's alleged fraud on the house. She can't stay there.
What?
Well, she can stay with me. They won't allow it. You're moving soon.
Well, we can put her up, can't we?
You can stay with me, Deirdre.
It's a bit rich, isn't it? After what I've done.
Not to me, it isn't. I'd be delighted to have you, whatever's happened. Stay as long as you like.
Toya?
What?
You know this protest? Well, you're not really gonna go through with it, are you? Only, it's really upsetting me and your dad.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him weeping buckets every night.
Oh, give it up, love. Before it's too late.
Something happened?
No. What makes you say that?
It has, hasn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know something, I can tell.
I don't.
You do? What is it?
Would you promise you won't tell?
Yeah, right.
It's your dad. He's got a job as a security guard on Red Rag.
For council? They got a death wish or what?
I can't bear the thought of you being on opposite sides. I mean, what if it gets violent?
So that's what he meant when he said next week. He starts then, doesn't he?
Hey, don't tell your dad I've said out.
And that means they'll be chopping trees down then and all.
For God's sake, don't you tell Spider. Toya, where are you going?
Out. Is Spider in?
Well, he is, but we're just sitting down to supper.
It's urgent.
Come in, then.
What is it?
They're chopping trees down next week.
How do you know?
My dad's been hired as security guard.
Your dad?
My mum's just spilt beans.
Well, they wouldn't chop them down without notice, surely.
That's exactly what they do.
Are you sure about this, Toya?
Oh, well, I know he starts next week for certain.
Yeah, and they wouldn't shell out and just have them standing around. It must be on.
So
well
what
done.
happens now?
We get up there before they do. You call Roy, I'll do some ringing around.
Well, shouldn't we wait and make sure?
What, and let them slip through? It's action stations is this, now.
You're looking at a bit of a loose end, love.
Am I?
You're not the only one round here in that position. No, not me. No. No, our Ashley. He's kicked that beggar girl out. Now's your chance to make up with him.
Will you just get it into your thick skull? Me and Ashley are Jurassic.
You're what?
Prehistoric. Dead and buried, okay? Did he put you up to this?
No. No, you mustn't think that, Maxine.
Hey, now, is it right about Deirdre being arrested?
Question.
What's this?
Oh, it's this Lindsay bloke. He's dropped a right in it.
What's happened?
He wasn't who he said he was for a start.
He was never a pilot and is married with 2 kids.
Oh, so that's why the wedding were called off.
Yes, but you don't get taken to police station for that, though.
No, but he's into fraud, isn't he? He gave her a credit card with some other bloke's name on it. Mortgaged the house the same way. The bloke found out. She's copped for the lot.
So why don't they arrest John?
Because he's done a bunk. Nobody knows where he is.
Oh, it'll all come out in wash, surely. Nobody believed Deirdre'd do a thing like that.
Nah, shouldn't have thought so. Anyway, Frankie will sort it out. No problem there, is there?
If you've kicked her out because of me, then you're wasting your time.
I didn't kick her out. Why? Who told you?
Your Uncle Fred. And it's 14-year-olds who pass on messages through other people. So why don't you just grow up?
Do you know how to fasten a tie?
Hey?
Because you'll have to wear one next week when you put your uniform on.
Who told you that?
And you'll have to stand up all day. Are you sure your back's up to it?
What have you been saying?
Oh, and what you said about us never winning? Well, if they're all like you, this is going to be a walkover.
What are you playing about at? They'll all be dug in now before we even get there.
So?
It could go on for months.
Good. Because the longer it goes on, the longer you'll have a job.
This isn't a job. This is my civic duty, this is.
Oh, pull the other one. You were looking forward to having a couple of days, hanging around in a uniform, chatting to your mates. Yeah, well, this way, you'll be able to do some decent work for a change. Start paying your way.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Just pack a few basics. You can come back for the rest.
When I left here this morning, This was my home. I've lost everything now.
Look, they'll find John. You'll get everything back.
I can't thank you enough for this, Ken. I don't deserve it. All the times you warned me. What was it you called him once? A fake.
We've all done stupid things.
Daft mistakes, yeah. I'll get the Nobel Prize for gullibility on this one.
He was a good con man.
Why me? What am I going to do?
It'll be okay.
I'll be the talk of the street. How could I have been so naive?
Look, we'll get you home. I'll fix you a drink and cook you a meal. We'll take it one step at a time. Okay?
When are you going to keep your nose out?
It were a misunderstanding, Ashley.
I didn't get rid of Zoe, if you want to know.
Aye. Thermore tells me.
And you still told Maxine.
I only want what's best for you.
I'll decide that, not you.
They should be looking for this bloke Lindsay, not giving her the 3rd degree.
Do you think she's innocent?
Deirdre? She'd send money to the taxman if she thought he hadn't taken enough. She's too honest for her own good.
No, she wouldn't do anything like this. It's a joke.
There's not a shred of direct evidence to clear her so far. He's been very clever.
He ran away.
Circumstantial. It won't help her.
What are you saying then?
She could be in big trouble.
Oh, come on. I mean, she's not a Robert Maxwell.
No, but obtaining money through deception is a very serious crime. She could go down for this.
What, you mean to prison?
Well, unless we find something concrete, she could get at least about 7 years.
She didn't do it.
Well, we'll have to convince the jury of that, because right now, we haven't got a leg to stand on.